Hello, everyone. Welcome back. We are continuing our exciting adventures in mostly like purchasing things, to be honest. We're doing the purchasing
occasionally
homework.
you have to do shop town
It's true.
stuff.
Well, you're picking up quests and handing stuff in, so it's all good. You're getting ready for the jungle. So let's figure out where to next. So you meet with Azaka once you're done with your town business for now. You meet with Azaka in the inn, in the thundering lizard of thunder, and she's there waiting for you. So I think the group of yours
You still have me tiny on the splash screen.
only on one screen. It's tiny elf. The whole rest of the episode.
Quick question.
So yes, yeah, sure.
We did like downtime for a week. How much do we have to have spent on the inn?
Oh yeah. However much an inn cost times.
I don't remember how much
7.
it was last time.
Yeah, let me look. Locations in the city. I think that it costs like whatever it says in the book normally, but let me double check. Harbor Ward, Market Ward. Here we go. Here we go. The Thundering Lizard, 5 silver pieces a night
Per day.
Yeah, 5 silver pieces a day.
So that's 3 gold and 5 silver.
Yeah,
I'm like getting broke down here.
it's fine. That's why you're going back in the jungle. Get some of that.
Yeah,
adventure
but
cash.
like I'm never gonna be able to save money to get cool armor if I keep spending it on canoes.
Whoa, canoes you don't even want.
I don't even want a canoe.
No, I know. Okay.
It's cute. So strong.
I didn't make y'all pay for me paying for Elf's theft.
Yeah, but that's not a thing
You
that
chose
will
the-
help us
the way
move
you're
fast.
It's fine. So, moving on, because I assume this isn't an actual problem. You meet with Azaka in the tavern as promised. So she arrives and you're already there because this is where you live. And so she comes in and the group of you are sitting around the table. And what's the conversation like?
Well, as you can see, I'm back to being alive, being conscious.
She looks at you and she says, "Yes, congratulations. Your friend here," and gestures at Little Fox, "carried you all the way from Firefinger. You're very lucky."
I certainly am. And he smiles again at Little Fox.
Mm-hmm. So you're ready to head back into the jungle.
We are. Are you?
She nods. Of course. I made a deal with you, didn't I?
Did
You
you
did?
did you hand that mask off to whoever it belongs to?
She nods. The mask is in the hands of its owner now.
Didn't realize that it was not yours. You seemed so focused on it.
She says, if it belonged to me, I would have been able to let it go. But it was in my care, and I had to make sure it was returned safely.
It's very noble of you.
She shrugs, as if, like, she doesn't care about whether it was noble. It's just the right thing to do. She's just kind of like, yeah, sure, maybe, if you want to look at it that way.
Yeah.
So she says, where are you going to go now?
Well, we had some things to check out down the river Social Star. Notably the sage that you mentioned not long ago. We've heard some rumors of strange creatures in the Eldani Basin, and perhaps further up by the River Teth, there's some sort of abandoned city.
She scowls when you say the River Ocean Star, but is listening. She doesn't interrupt. She just kind of scowls a little bit and nods.
Is that not its true name?
She laughs. She says, "Oh, no, it's not that. Just It is, or was a popular method of traveling into the jungle by our previous visitors from the north. They set up camps along the way. Some of them did not go home when they left Port Nyanzaru.
I see. Ah, yes, on the map, Camp Righteous and Camp Vengeance will have some of the Flaming Fist to contend with.
She laughs again when you say Camp Righteous and Camp Vengeance, because you're looking at the map that's on the table. She's like,
Yeah, he rolls his eyes.
she's like, yeah, is my common is not perfect. Are those their names? This is ridiculous, isn't it?
It certainly is. The
Shakes
people
her head.
themselves, ridiculous also.
Well, these ridiculous men have swords and armor, and like ridiculous men with swords and armor who have failed, they are not friendly.
Well, there's something I've been meaning to ask you, actually, about your propensity for not seeming to mind particularly much about those swords or armor.
She looks at you.
You have taken more blows from swords than I have seen any other person at all, and acted as if it were nothing to you.
I am a strong woman. I got it from my mother. Everyone in my family is as tough as I am. Some more so.
Well, we are very lucky that we have you as our guide. He doesn't have any reason to follow up on that, despite suspicions.
So, are we set then?
I believe so, unless there are... Well, we do not require another guide, but I don't suppose you know, perhaps, whether any of them have tasks out that way.
She scowls at you. She's like, another guide.
No, we wouldn't need their services. Just doing tasks for them, earning money while we're out that way, maximizing the use of our time.
She shakes her head and she says, do not get distracted, Malik. If you have a purpose in the jungle, go to that purpose. Besides, I may not be able to guide you forever. Once I'm gone, you can find another guide. A lesser guide. Let us hope it does not come to that.
Yeah, he smiles at her and says, oh, you might be right. Nobody knows what the future will hold for all of us. All right, I believe that's all my business concluded. We found out what we can about the jungle. Anyone else?
think that like this whole time Arcturus has kind of been pouting.
You don't say.
Yes. And when Malik is like winding down, he rudely interjects and says like, the mask wasn't even yours and you were half crazed to go get it. When you took it from me, whose was it? Why was that so important to you that you must rip it from my hands?
Who's your boyfriend?
Yeah, exactly. Who's your boyfriend?
Yeah.
She says, it does not belong to you and does not belong to me. And now it is in the hands of the person it does belong to. I don't see how this is your business.
It's my business because I risked the life of me and my friends to go and get that for you when you couldn't even do so yourself.
Just as you cannot navigate the jungle alone, we needed each other, Arcturus. Don't act like I am so disposable to you.
And he's very much like,
You know, she's kind of right.
no, it's definitely like
you knew
very
it,
like
you knew what
jealous.
this was, Arcturus. You knew what this was.
No, it's very much like jealous. Like, you assaulted me for that damn mask, and then you go running off and give it to this person who's more important to you. Yeah, he's definitely acting just like a jealous jerk.
Mm-hmm.
So, Yeah, he would probably like mumble something in the primordial under his breath and then just like pout some more.
Mm. So she turns to Little Fox and says, you have a canoe now? You're going to take the river? Much less dangerous that way. Harder to get lost. The river only goes one way.
Yeah, and Little Fox just like shrugs.
She speaks up in regard to things addressed to Little Fox and goes like, "Yes, we do. We have a canoe now."
Good. So the canoe can hold all of you, and actually I think there's room for all of you plus one if need be. It's a big canoe, and I think we can just have you set out.
Onwards to adventure.
Yeah, let's do it. Okay.
As a real quick side note,
Yeah.
I am a terrible player, and my encumbrance is not sorted out.
Dave.
I'm doing it at the moment now.
Dave. I know, it's fine.
Okay.
You figured it out. It's cool. I trust you.
I will. I'm just currently. What is it? You can carry 4 times your. I'll look it up, but I don't think
we're using the optional encumbrance biz.
I might well be at 135 pounds, but don't worry about that.
You can always just get Little Fox to carry your things for you.
It'll probably be that, but just letting you know in case you wanted to do exhaustion or something.
So let us set out now. If you are traveling, by canoe, you can travel more quickly and don't have to make navigation checks. Let's see. Without canoes, yada yada yada, you can travel 2 hexes per day if you're traveling by canoe on a river or lake.
You also get to listen to me retching every few miles.
Yes, yeah, totally.
So
That's true. Arcturus is having a rough time.
Suffering. It sustains me.
All right.
These are pretty,
the worst
They
part
really
about
wanna
this is that I
sing.
had to pay for
Yeah, you pay for the right to suffer. It's fine. You'll either get over it or you won't. All right, everybody on board the Nausea Express. Choo choo. First stop, Camp Righteous. So away you go. So we're not gonna roll for any of that stuff. Now, Arcturus, do you want to attempt to fish every day that you're traveling?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, then here's how this protocol is going to go. I will roll for the day's encounters, and then I will get you. If I don't say yes, you encounter something, you can roll a survival check, and we'll just keep on keeping on. All right. So you set out from Port Nyanzaru and head west along the coast. So the first day, let's see what happens. The first day is uneventful. Please roll a survival check.
I'm assuming we are taking
Every
rational.
time Arcturus makes a survival check, mark off a ration, unless Arcturus gets a 15 or 18 or higher. If you want to feed everybody.
I think you said 18.
Yeah. Okay. So in this case, no one has to mark a ration. All right. So that was, you actually go 2 hexes per day. So that was your first day.
Wow.
Now you go 1, 2 down the river. This is your second day. So 2 days out. On your second day, in the morning, on the second day, you are interrupted. You are interrupted in your journey.
By a killer crocodile swarm.
Yeah, just tons of them. Just they came back for revenge.
Yeah,
Whoa.
it's
No.
all the crocodiles and their big brothers, and also land crocodiles.
I
Yeah.
hate that. I hate those guys. I'm so glad that you got crocodiles when I wasn't here.
Ooh. All right. So.
I don't like that.
Oh, this is gonna be a good one. Okay. So I will ask you, all those of you who have seen this film, to call upon your remembrances of a little movie called Apocalypse Now. So you're traveling down the river, heading down this ocean. Sorry, you've just left the relative safety of the port, and you're drifting down the river. You have to paddle because you're going upstream, paddling up the river, and it's like eerily quiet. Like there's usually jungle noise and everything, and then it kind of like the jungle noise kind of drifts away, and you enter a part of the jungle where there's hanging vines all like back and forth. The water seems to sort of like still. It's this kind of silty, like grayish color, and the morning sun now is fed through these heavy vines and leaves above you as you enter the jungle. Azaka looks nervously back because she's at the front of the boat with Little Fox. She looks back at you, Little Fox, and she whispers, she's like, I don't like this. Something is wrong.
And Little Fox just like stoically keeps paddling. I assume I'm doing most of the paddling because I'm.
I mean,
huge.
you're giving a.
I'm helping.
Okay, so she just shakes her head. She's like, it's fine, but keep watch. And so you continue up the river, and I think we see who has the best passive perception. I think it's probably
13.
Arcturus.
Little Fox and I are tied.
Yeah.
Okay, so the two of you notice on what first just off to one side, then you notice more and more of them. There's a stick jammed into the mud of the riverbank, and on it are hanging little bones, a couple of like animal skulls. You see another one on the other side as you progress up the river. Then you start to see little tangles of skulls and bones and sticks hanging from the trees, and you can hear them kind of clacking together in the thin breeze that blows through the jungle. And Azaka shakes her head. She's like, I really don't like the look of this.
Let's take the other river. The one that goes around this area.
We
Yeah,
can't exactly go back.
That is exactly the reason why Little Fox just continues to like stoically paddle us forward.
Okay.
I feel like Arcturus is like laying at like the back of the boat or whatever part is like most weighed low in the water. So maybe like right behind Little Fox. And he's like, he's the kind of nauseous where he's like curled into himself and like just trying not to move as much as possible. And he's just like, I felt bad before, but this is making it worse.
Okay. So you
Don't have any
continue.
preparatory spells.
And Little Fox just shushes you and keeps watching the woods.
Yeah. So you continue up. And I think you hear the faint sounds of like singing start to drift through the jungle. You can't quite pick out at this point like where it's coming from, but you can definitely hear it. There are more than one voice, high and melodious. This isn't like weird, awkward, like gravelly singing. It's more than one person, and they're like singing together gently. You can hear voices coming in and out.
At least it's nice.
Shh. And I try and recognize this song. If it's in particular culture, we can try and work out what it.
Yeah. Make a history check at disadvantage.
Totally reasonable. Damn.
Shit.
That's 23 over there.
Yeah, you completely there's some complete like misinterpretation there. And you like it just sounds like a I don't know, maybe like a
I think my mother used to sing this to me.
yeah, it
They
sounds
can't-
weirdly familiar to you. That's a good call.
No,
Yeah.
I don't. Ugh.
Okay. So you're gonna keep going up the river?
I draw my crossbow and
Is it in common?
It's you can't make out a language. Yeah, it's just a tune.
And yeah, like Little Fox just paddles like faster because she's sketched out by this and wants to be past it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm going to hold an action.
Okay.
If I see anything moving through the trees, I'm going to shoot a firebolt at it.
Anything?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Flaming-
He's thoroughly spooked out.
Flaming Fist Patrol just comes walking along.
I mean, that's not that'd be fine. Okay. So I don't think you see anything coming towards you. I think you approach a thing. The jungle to one side, I think the river kind of widens and there's a few little like branches, and off to one side the jungle clears a little, and you can see next to the riverbank, they seem to be actually like they're kind of like one of them. There's three of them. There's three women, and one of them is like up to her waist in the water. The other two are up on the shore, and one of them is like washing something on a rock, and the other is I think probably like cutting leaves, like fronds off of a bundle that they've got. So they're like preparing them. And the other one that's in the water, you see her. She's got an urn and she's like pouring water over her head. And the three of them are singing. They're old, probably in their like between 60s and 70s. Old Chultan women, and they're just like singing to themselves as you come around this like bend in the river.
Yeah, so I'm gonna cast Detect Magic.
Okay. And is this when you cast Detect Magic, it's your natural, like you can just see magic?
I can smell it.
Yeah, okay. Sure.
And this is from one of my Furbolg racials. I get.
I mean, so like Dave, you see something, do you firebolt it?
No, it was just specifically like if something comes through the trees like an animal or anything. But if we're approaching it, then he's not like jumpy.
Okay.
The same way.
Okay. Sounds good. All right.
Yep.
Yeah, so you detect magic. Yes. Yeah, all three of them have magic. They have illusions on them. And the area, like you can see magic sort of, or I guess you smell it in the air, like smoke from a campfire.
Yeah. And so before we get into that like space that smells off to her, little fox like turns the canoe like into to the bank.
Yeah.
And just like we're gonna stop here.
Okay, I mean they see you. There's no way to stealthily approach in
no, not that we're gonna. But I just don't want to like take my canoe into the like.
Yeah, so
they're concealing the rapids, and then we fucking like
get
our canoe tipped over or some crap.
Yeah, like
totally. She's gonna keep the canoe in a place where she can trust her senses to tell her what's going on.
Is it on their bank or the opposite bank that you wanna?
Oh yeah, on the same bank that they're on. Because
okay.
How far away do you want to stop your boat from them?
Let's say 60 feet away, unless their bubble of illusion magic is bigger than that.
I mean, so the illusion magic is on them. They wear it like cloaks. But
does it affect the
illusion stuff in the area is just sort of floating. It's ambient magic. You can't. It doesn't have a particular school.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
and so
just like I said, like smoke in the air.
I was imagining like their illusion magic was like
just to be clear, it's just on them.
And there's just like this clear sign that they have been being magical around here for a long time.
Yeah,
there's
exactly.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So she pulls up kind of at the edge.
Is this one of those like kill things moments? It feels real creepy.
Yeah, and Little Fox is gonna get out of the boat.
The one in the water looks up and says something in Chultan, probably to the other two, and then all three of them like turn to look, and the one that's in the water, like she waves to you. She's got her hair all up, her gray hair like bundled up on top of her head. And she waves, and then in common she says, "Travelers." And I'm trying to find.
I don't like how you hissed that S at the end there.
I'm trying to find. There's like a reaction roll, like there was in old timey D&D, where you roll to see like what their initial reaction is to you, because they're pretty neutral, I think, to begin with. But I cannot for the life of me find it.
And so yeah, Little Fox is like pulls the canoe up onto the riverbank so it doesn't, run back down river. And she's out on the shore.
Arcturus gets out as quickly as he possibly can.
Yeah, and Malik will say to all of you, he says, "Let me do the talking. If any of you pick up anything strange, just tap my shoulder.
And yeah, like Little Fox like grabs your shirt and pulls you in very close, and in this like very low whisper just says, "Smells like magic, tricksy magic, not friends." And like
He
pushes
nods.
you in front to do the talking.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you're downriver, I guess, from them a little ways, and yeah, and so they say, I think that she calls out to you, and she says, "Oh, I see. Okay, I found it here. Okay, so she calls out to you, and she says, why so cautious?" And gestures like, "Come over. We were just going to eat."
Oh, I'm terribly sorry for coming off so impolitely. We are new to the jungles, and it's simply our trepidation of the unknown, not of me ladies in particular.
Yeah, it's that.
And he like moves to start walking forwards.
Okay. All right. So as you get closer, you notice that nearby there is the corpse of like a jungle like boar hanging from a tree by its feet, and under it there's a big wooden bowl full of blood.
Cool.
Oh, proficient hunters, I see. It looks like you're in for a good meal.
And she says, yes. One thing that doesn't go with old age is the appetite. We lured this one into our trap.
Oh, very cunning, very clever.
Is
I
that
suppose you'd have to be to survive out here.
is that the meal they're offering, Malik? I don't.
And one of the ones
Sorry,
in the back
did-
says when they she notices you, Arcturus, she grins. This is the one that was washing, and she's like set aside whatever it is she's washing here. She looks at you, and I think you notice that what she was like rubbing against the rocks when she sets it down, it's like a tabard or something. It definitely doesn't match the clothes that they're wearing. You notice like this blue piping on it, and it's a big pile of wet cloth, but it doesn't like they're wearing like basically like leaf like fronds. None of them are wearing like shirts. They're barely dressed because they're living on the jungle. And so the one that was washing looks at you and says, "Ooh, a warrior amongst them. Look at that shiny armor. Come over here, dear. Let me take a look at you."
I guess a warrior. It's not.
Go on, Arcturus.
Hold on one moment. As a fellow practitioner of the arcane, and of course, I do not fault you for this, but I realize that perhaps we are not being open with each other. Hence my caution.
And the one that was preparing, so you realize now she's preparing a fire. So there was a little pit in front of her, and she was peeling off dried like fronds to start the fire so that they could cook this boar. Yeah. So what do you say? We haven't been honest with each other?
Yeah, as a fellow practitioner of the arcane, I can see we're not being entirely open and honest with each other. Hence the hesitation.
So she says to you, "Such fancy words, traveler. We're just here to prepare our meal. No secrets, no arcane practicing."
But you are not as you appear to be to us, are you?
And the one in the water, who's probably like the closest to you, like she's been moving closer. It's just like 40 feet away. She's still out in the water a little ways. She says, "Is anyone what they appear to be?"
Yes, I am.
And they kind of scowl, like she scowls over at you, and then turns back to Malik, and says, "So suspicious. Why don't you come and eat with us? We can get to know each other."
I fear my dietary choices are different than yours.
She just grins at you. like his weird, like bland kind of like, yeah.
But thank you for the offer. Why did we land? Exactly. Not that I love riding upon the water so very much, but
I think we will have to respectfully decline your offer. As you say, suspicious, and whether it is warranted or not, I'm sure you can at least understand it in this place. We are not as used to the jungle as you are, not as well equipped, not as cunning, not as crafty to catch such animals.
I could certainly catch a boar if I wished to.
I'm
I'm
sure
sure
you could.
Little Fox could as well.
Yes, I'm sure you could.
And she scowls and like she's like, not going to stay. And after we offered you some of our meal, so rude, so very rude. Can you for me please, Malik? Can you please make a, like I mean, I want to say like a charisma saving throw. Yeah, make a charisma save for me.
Save versus your own rudeness.
Yep.
I mean, I just don't want boar.
Do you have inspiration right now, Dave?
I do not.
Okay. You should from that conversation with Severus, dude. I forgot to give it to you before. You got an 18.
Okay.
Okay. So when she says that, when she says so rude, what do you say?
Oh, I'm terribly sorry to be rude. In fact, in my culture, it is only considered polite to decline on a first meeting. It shows that you are more open to a mutual relationship later on. You tend to make the first bonds in business or on a joint venture. It is seen as something that the other races do to show wealth and power. We do not look upon it favorably.
And and the three of them kind of look at each other as if there's a moment of communication that goes unspoken between the three of them. And she says, well, you've hurt our feelings, and now we don't want to share. Like,
I shoot my crossbow at the nearest one.
No.
No,
Okay.
Like, okay, yeah, that was fine.
Okay, I can't do anything about it.
Sure. Okay.
It's a tense motherfucking
So
conversation.
you're just like,
now.
boing.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Sure. Go ahead and roll an attack roll.
Why did you shoot the person who offered us dinner?
They said they didn't want to share anymore.
Okay. Yeah, you hit.
For 11 damage.
Okay. So you hit her, thunk, and you hit her with the crossbow, and it
Itchy.
hits her in the shoulder, and she like hisses. And Little Fox, you feel the illusion disappear as the creature reveals itself. She looks maybe like a bit like Arcturus in her true form, but like hideous and wizened. She has a strange, sharp tooth-filled maw, skin that's like bluish. Her hands are much longer than they appeared, covered in claws. Instead of hair, she has long, ragged green kelp. And the other two hiss as well and shed their forms. And I guess we should roll initiative. And then you should consider running like hell. Let me bring you over to. I've got a generic river tile we can use. So let's use.
I think I maybe made a mistake.
I think you did maybe made a mistake.
Yes,
Yes,
maybe you
I
did
agree
a
with
mistake.
that.
Let me just make sure we clear the old biz from this one.
We seriously, that roll, the charisma save, probably would have been enough to just exit the situation.
It's okay. It's fine. Just figure it out now. Okay, so you are all.
Adam, can you please show me my canoe?
Would you like a canoe? Okay.
I would like a canoe.
Let me see. Let me dig up
I will
a canoe token.
canoodle my way out of this situation.
All right, here is a canoe.
Why is Lil Fox so far downriver?
I'm not done. I just dragged you over to the map that we were using before.
Okay.
So this canoe needs to be big enough for like 6 people. So that's probably the size of the canoe. It's very, very large. Let me move it back. There you go. And it's like down here. And then y'all are kind of like around it. So you can place yourselves like around where Little Fox is. And you said you're on the same like bank as them. Let's keep your fish whip over here. Okay. Let me gather them up in their true form.
And so we stopped at
Fish whip.
my rough measure I gave you, you may recall, was about 60 feet away.
Yeah, one of them had approached closer.
Yeah, exactly. So
So she was like 40 feet, I think. Yeah, give or take. Okay, and then the other 2 were like up on the bank up here. Okay. So let me consult their character sheets, and I'll clear the initiative order. Yeah, there we go. And let's have at her.
I feel like this crossbow bolt is followed with sorry.
I am hesitating because I don't like that we just shot them.
Oh, and I should add Azaka to the order as well.
and yeah, we're all sorry. We're all real sorry.
But not Ishi. Ishi has 15. Oh, Azaka is ready to murder.
All right. Oops, no, descending. There we go. Okay. So Azaka is first.
Which one of the hags just got shot by a crossbow?
Oh, this one.
I said the nearest one. So.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. And you did how much? Did you do damage yet? Yeah, 11.
Yeah, 11.
Okay. 11 damage. Okay. All right. Okay. So you fire the crossbow. Azaka, God, I think she panics too. Like as soon as you do it, and they're like, they turn into monsters. She fires her weapon as well. So she takes 2 shots at them with her longbow. So.
Oh yeah, is this the boar corpse totally like a human corpse?
2.
Now?
No, it's a boar.
Like that? No, it's legitimately a boar corpse. Great.
First one misses, but the second shot hits. And Azaka just like shouts in surprise and panic, and she's like, "They're not just old women."
No kidding!
Ishi, what are you gonna do?
I guess I shoot my crossbow again.
She's like,
Stop! You're all idiots.
Okay.
Why are you firing on these people? Compound one wrong deed with another.
Okay.
Point of order, Adam. Sunlight.
Yes. You were just entering the jungle, so let's die of fate that shit. 1 to 3. There is sunlight. Okay, yeah, so you are at disadvantage.
Okay,
you
so
would be on
9.
that last shot, but let's not worry about that.
Well, the last shot was 20 and 20, so
right, of course.
Either way.
Yeah.
So 9. So I'm guessing not a hit.
You miss, yeah. So like the sun is in your eyes, you fire, and it water splashes into the water. Little Fox, what are you gonna do?
Well, so Little Fox says, "Boat now," and then like, I'm gonna grab Ishi and put her in the boat.
Okay, so if
She's
you'd want to do
tiny
that,
thing.
it's like a grapple attempt, right? You grapple and then move, which you can
which
do.
is like a strength check.
So it
Okay.
would be. I assume Ishi's not going to resist, but it's your action to grab Ishi, and then when you move, you can move Ishi 5 feet with you.
Point of order. They're downriver from us. We would have to pass them either way.
No,
No,
they're downriver. You're going upriver.
No,
Yeah,
we
they're-
didn't. But we.
They're
did we
upriver
pass
from
them
us because
and
that's where
then-
we were going.
Yes.
The-
Yeah, you'll have to go past them. Yes, that's right. So
Wow.
you're technically right, but the word you use confused me. But yes.
Okay,
that's
I'm
right.
sorry. We did not pass them.
Yes.
But they were
the
in the
flow of
direction-
the river on this map is confusing, but yes, you have to go past them if you want to continue canoeing up that way.
So
Yeah, to keep going forward. If we just run back, we're fine. We just come back the way we came, flow with the
Assuming
river,
that
which is
they're not
backwards on the
going to-
map.
Yes.
well, because we have to pass them to get further
Yeah.
into the jungle.
We're gonna maybe have to take a different route or something.
There is no different route.
Well, you could go into the jungle, right?
I mean, we could carry the canoe, I guess.
Or we murder these, what I
That's
presume
what I'm
to be
saying is-
incredibly powerful ancient
You can certainly try.
witch.
Incredibly
things.
powerful.
So little fox, what are you doing with your turn?
I don't know. I think the crossbow actually hurt them, so that probably says
Yeah.
something.
You say boat, and I say, no, little fox. We need you to defend us. We've got to fight. We've got to go past them. That's not what I
And so
wanted.
she just yells like boat in this really loud. She's like boat, and then runs at them. Like she doesn't agree with you, but doesn't have the words, and so she's just going to go into a rage.
Fantastic.
And run 60 feet. Yeah, she's just gonna rage.
So
and
boat
run
has
at this
become
one.
boat has become the battle cry.
Yeah, she's just like, because it's the whole thing of like, if she were a more eloquent person, she'd be like, God, you idiots, why aren't you going to the boat? I can't believe we're not going into the boat. That was my idea. I really wanted us to all leave on the boat, but now we're not doing that, and I'm mad. But
Yep.
she's a little fox. So she yells boat while running at them.
Get to the chopper.
So sea hags are creatures from this plane.
If you want to make an Arcana check to recognize that they are sea hags, you could do so.
An arcana check.
Yeah, because they're monsters, right? They're magical
Yeah,
monsters.
on your turn. I think.
Okay,
On your turn.
that's fine.
So little fox, so you're making a move action and then another move action, right?
Yeah, I'm just double moving, and I'm entering
And
a
rage.
barbarian rage
Okay.
because I'm fucking angry.
All right. Okay, you are enraged and you charge at these creatures. Malik, what are you gonna do?
Focus fire, Malik.
Malik is going to. This is the one that we've been attacking. Oh, sorry, not on the right tool. Is this the one that's taken the damage from
No,
the?
it's the one in the
That
water.
one in the water.
Mm. I'm going to fire a chaos bolt at the one that Little Fox is fighting.
Okay.
How do we control see this situation? Chat, yes. I made a mistake.
Okay, yeah, you chaos bolt that one. That hits.
Okay.
What does your chaos bolt look like? I guess we gotta find out what kind of damage it deals.
Yeah.
Yeah. It will depend. I get to. What is that damage? Holy.
Yeah.
A 1, a 2, and a 3. All right, so 1 or 2, and you deal 6 of whatever type it is.
Yeah. So he breathes in, and like there are just many different colors in his hands, and he's trying to like push them together to form like a concentrated ball.
Mhm.
And as he fires it out, like the colors like flash, and they keep flashing as they go. And when it hits, it is like these are both bad in my head. I don't want either acid or cold because they might be good against either. We'll say acid. So it like ends up as like a green corrosive ball that hits and just like splashes out and against the away the kelp and stuff that they're covered in.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so she shrieks as it hits her, like just angry, and I mean you can see her up close. These things are hideous, little fox, and it hits her and just like scowls and snarls, and yeah, it's not going good. So Malik, do you want to move or?
Yes. Okay. Goodbye. I didn't want to be near them.
Okay, so you fall back. All right, so these lovely ladies. Remember, if you cross through this terrain, it's difficult.
Yeah.
So these 3 lovely ladies, they're gonna take a turn. But before we do, let's take our last break, shall we? All right, stick around, cause it's my turn now. More Tomb of Annihilation when we return.